Alright, so today I'll be reviewing just this container, which I got off Amazon, that had a ton of Beyblades in it. These are clearly fake, but, like, honestly, that's the point of the channel. So, let's get moving. Starting with what came in for the launchers. We got one string launcher, two ripcord launchers, a generic handle, and a ripcord. There's a second one, but I can't find it, and I've already recorded this 8 times. And for Beyblades, we got 2 copies of Vice Leopard, Orb Aegis, 2 copies of Archer Hercules, Screw Trident, Dead Hades, Revive Phoenix, 2 Wonder Valkyries, and 2 Z Achilles. And this is a decent amount of Beyblades, but we're just gonna go to this arena, which I have here, which is an arena that is an actual real arena. I've had this one for a couple weeks now. Pretty good arena. And then we're just gonna sort of set up the camera, see how these Beyblades launch and all that. See how these Beyblades launch, see if they're good, if they're good at their one job, which is be a decent Beyblade. Alright, so we're going to start by testing the launchers, give those a rating first. We're going to start with the string launcher. We're going to use Orb Aegis we're going to use the fake Orb Aegis as our test dummy here. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. That is a very weak feeling launch. That's it feels like a baby. Oops. Feels like a baby launching it. It barely spun for about 20 seconds. Gotta admit, it's impressive this thing can even stand up. So we're gonna try it again with maybe a heavier Beyblade like Dead Hades. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Yeah, this thing barely does not launch all that fast. It's maybe not the worst I've ever seen. I used to own one that was way worse, but I'd still have to give it a 2 out of 10 top. And then we're gonna try out this ripcord launcher. First, we're gonna try it without Dead Hades. Come here. You're gonna be our test. You're gonna be our test subject. Look. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. That was a horrible launch. I apologize. Anyway. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Wow, that felt a lot stronger. Not the strongest launch ever. I have some what do they call it? Some string launchers that are from a different fake set that launch a lot stronger. But generally not horrible launch. We're gonna do one more. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. I can definitely feel a bit more of the power behind that launch. It doesn't feel as like fake. It doesn't feel like these definitely aren't real quality, but they're not horribly fake either. Alright, come here. And then next I'm gonna get all the Beyblades set up so we can test them all. Just see how we're testing for 3 things. General durability. We're testing for durability, so will any of these break when launched? Stability, do all of them launch correctly? Do all of them actually work? And we're also testing for just fun factor, would it be fun to launch these against each other? So I'm gonna get that set up, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so I have it set up right here. We're going to have 6 matches, so each of the Beyblades get at least 1 try-off on them. And then we're going to just see, do they break on launch? Do they burst on launch, more commonly than not? How fun are they to watch battle? How stable are they? So making sure they don't burst in one hit from each other. And am I gonna use these ever again past just this review? So let's get our camera set back up right here. And instead of using the very crappy launchers, which I would give a 1 out of 10 at best, I'm gonna be using this much stronger launcher I got from another fake set, but it's a lot higher quality, a lot stronger of a launch. So we're going to start with the red Z Achilles versus Aegis. So we're going to just pop this in. We're just going to pop Aegis in. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Pop Achilles in. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Not bad for a first launch, and how much longer it took for me to get that loaded up than it should have. Gotta admit, Orb Aegis' durability is a bit lower than I was expecting. It did take 2 pops worth of damage in those about 3 hits. Z Achilles didn't take any damage, though. So I'd honestly say that's at least, those are 2 that are fine. Now next battle's gonna be Hades versus the other Achilles. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Load up. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. I'm watching softer because I can definitely feel that these have some structure to them. They're not like just pure cheap. They're not just the extremely cheap plastic that's gonna break under the slightest amount of stress. I can definitely tell that's not the case. Next is going to be Archer Hercules, Yellow Archer Hercules versus Black Wonder Valkyrie. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. And then 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Alright. Valkyrie lost. Now, these 2, I have to say, both of them came very close to bursting, and that might be just because of how much of what they were doing to each other. But to be honest, Valkyrie in particular, I launched this quite a few times before recording because I was doing recording takes, and this thing will occasionally just burst upon impact with the stadium to start blading. So I will say this thing is not that high of quality, all things considered. Alright, time for round 4 of 6, being the other Archer Hercules against one of my favorite Beyblades of all time, Revive Phoenix. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. And then look very carefully. Misfire. Let's try that again. The prominence of the armor was just being a dick. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Alright. I'd say they both seem pretty stable. Didn't even come. This one came 1 tick first thing. And Revive's armor worked practically as intended. Not bad. I can definitely feel like the slight bit of cheapness behind these, definitely. Not comparing them to Takaratomi or Hasbro, because they're nowhere near that quality. But I can definitely feel like these feel like a little bit cheap, you know? So, Vice Leopard versus the Blue Wonder Valkyrie. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. And then 3, 2, 1, go shoot. You see, this is what I was talking about. For some reason, the Wonder Valkyries in particular have a habit of just bursting before even launching because of just how flimsy they are in particular. Might have just been a bad mold in this batch, but I don't know why. But the Wonder Valkyries, both of them are just really bad, so. But last, Screw Trident versus the other copy of Vice Leopard. Actual real Vice Leopard fight. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Screw Trident's out. And 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Vice Leopard's out. Wow. Much fight. Wow. Burst. And Vice Leopard barely took any damage. So I'd honestly say Vice Leopard and Screw Trident, both are actually pretty good. Vice Leopard's just really good at bursting when it comes to fake Beyblades for some reason. So, in terms of launchers, I definitely give them a 1 out of 10. In terms of how strong the Beyblades themselves are, I'd say a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10. Because while they're not the worst I've seen, they're definitely not like play with them intensively at all times quality. And they're definitely a bit weaker than I'm used to. I actually have some other fake sets that I genuinely like playing with, but these ones a bit on the flimsier side. Maybe it's just the fact these are older, and I'm used to newer eras. But yeah, just generally, I'd give these a 6, maybe 7 out of 10. So I'd say packaging 7 out of 10. Easy to carry, very decent packaging. Although I swear every fake company, especially on Amazon, uses the same packaging, and it's kind of a mess. For launchers, 1 out of 10, easily, because these things are trash. I'm never touching these again after this. For Beyblade stability themselves, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. A 7, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Because the Valkyries in particular just go bursting way too often, way too easily. And then for how fun it was, I'm going to give it also a 7 out of 10. And so, while they were somewhat fun to play with, I actually do really like these. I feel, and it's probably dampered a little bit by the fact that I'm one guy. I'd have to say that generally these do feel a bit like they don't really have the force behind them that some Beyblades have to make them really fun. So overall, I'd give this 6, 1. I'd give this overall I'd give this a 7 plus 6 is 23, 21 out of 5 by 4. I'd give this like a 5.5 out of 10. I'm gonna play with these, of course, because I bought them with money. Of course I am, but generally, I wouldn't even recommend wasting your money on this specific setup, this specific product set, because these just feel weak, even for fake Beyblade standards. These feel god awful. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still gonna play with them. They still seem like a fun distraction, but if you're looking for fake Beyblades in particular, don't bother. These are not worth your time nor effort. Maybe it's just a bad batch. Maybe I'll buy another set and try again at one point. But for now, no. Anyway, that would be BeyFaker out. Have a nice day.